I've been waiting for the release of this watch ever since I reviewed this brand's first watch about a year ago, and this watch has not disappointed. In fact, it's more than exceeded my expectations. It's a field style watch made of grade 5 titanium with a 1200 Vickers treatment and offering a Swiss movement with a dial that has Lumicast index blocks saturated in Swiss superluminova. This has been a real delight on the wrist in more ways than one. Now, as an enthusiast, my gripe or my complaint is it's a little bit expensive, and it is. You'll probably find it as enthusiasts. It's a little bit costly. I suppose if I look at this watch carefully, the way it's finished and designed and the way you actually feel wearing it on the wrist, I can physically see and feel where that money has gone, and I'll explain more in the course of this review. Let's dive in. Now, I got super excited over this brand's first release about a year ago. For me, it didn't look like a micro brand. The finishing, the design, the way that watch wore was absolutely beautiful. This is their second watch. It's gone from glory to glory. As far as I'm concerned, this watch has not disappointed. The first time I actually looked at this watch and physically handled it, I thought, wow, their first model really did lay a high standard, and this new model has raised that bar. Again, it doesn't feel like a micro brand. It feels like a watch that's designed by a brand that knows what they're doing. And I shared this in my first video with their first watch. The designers of this watch, Dave and Sid, they're professional designers by trade. So applying their craft to something that they love, which is watches, I can see the passion and I can feel the passion. Now, whenever we get something good or something really well made from a brand, you expect to pay for that. And this watch is not inexpensive by any means. Their pre-order price is going to be offered at $1,095 US, and that excludes tariffs and sales tax. Now, that is a pre-order price, and the watch will settle with an RRP of $1,295 USD. That's around 2,200 Australian dollars converted at this exchange rate. So as an enthusiast, I'm saying to myself, gee, it's a lot of money to outlay. That is one of my gripes. That's probably one of my only gripes on this watch. It is expensive. Now, To Orbit has sponsored this video, so I will of course leave the appropriate links in the description section. So if you are keen on this watch, by all means, feel free to check them out. Now, there are different dial variants and finishes of this particular watch. I've got the blue one here on my wrist. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. They've also got a ROCK SALT, which has a pink fume dial and a bead blasted titanium case. There's a green variant called Echo, as well as a black one, which is called Base Camp. Now, I've also managed to get hands-on with that ROCK SALT or that pink variant, and a completely different vibe on the wrist. It's a fully bead blasted titanium case. It's very stealthy and matte. I like what they've done here as a design. The attention and level of detail on this ROCK SALT version is every bit as good as the blue one. And this blue one, I think the tonality of that dial, slight fume, the contrast against those white Lumicast markers and handset is beautiful and yet subtle at the same time. So there's a nice beauty coming off that dial, and the first time I actually physically handled this watch and saw it in the hand, I thought, gee, this is good. This is really good. So it gave me the same feeling that I got from their first watch. It feels too good to be a micro brand. Now, diving into the physical dimensions of this watch, I measure a case diameter of 40mm and a case height of 11.1. The lug to lug is 46.7 with a lug width of 20. That crown is a 6.8mm screw down crown. The watch offers 100 meters of water resistance, and the total weight on the supplied strap I measure exactly 70 grams. Now, on the wrist is where this watch really comes alive. It's 70 grams, it's strong, it's legible. I think that case height coming in at 11.1 to the top of that box dome sapphire crystal, alongside the comfort of that strap with its titanium clasp, is really nice. Looking at that strap, it's a single pass NATO style strap. Its quality seems to be on a very high level and suit this watch. And being somebody who's not really into NATO style straps, this has not felt like one on the wrist, which is a big ask to satisfy someone like me. Now, although I've got these watches on the single pass nylon strap, they've been extremely comfortable. I believe there's also going to be an integrated rubber strap for all these watches. And that is going to be included in the pre-order price as a special offer with these watches. Now, if I turn the watch over, you'll notice there's a solid case back. There's a nice grey matte finish on the entire case back, and hiding behind that single pass nylon strap is their logo. It's a nice surprise, the detailing is very good, and again, I think it suits the watch nicely. Now the caliber in these watches is the Swiss Solida SW200-1. Around 40 hours of power reserve, proper no date, beating at 4 Hz, obviously with hacking and hand winding. And I did mention about that crown is as good as any crown you're going to get. The way this thing latches down it's beautiful. It's a tri-lock clutched screw down crown. You can feel that it's a perfect latch on experience every single time, and the knurling on that crown has also been an absolute delight. I think having designed this watch not only with finesse but having ergonomics in mind as a proper field watch, you could easily wind that crown with a pair of gloves on. The knurling has a beautiful bite to it, whilst at the same time remaining refined, not only in its physical feel, but in its usage. Now turning my attention to the crystal of this watch, it's a box dome sapphire crystal. It features colourless anti-reflective coating on the underside. I've had no complaints at all with washout. I think the glass is doing a very good job because that dial has been clean and clear and a real enjoyable view. Lastly, if I dim down the lights, the watch offers Swiss Superluminova BGW9, and honestly I've only got one word for this lume application on this watch: brilliant. The clarity, the brightness, the evenness of that application, I think it's really well done. So top marks in that department. Now all that said and done, what are my gripes or room for improvement of this watch? And for me, top of the list, it's the price. I think as enthusiasts, what's really going to affect us is it's a little bit expensive. It's expensive because we as enthusiasts, we really want to get a good deal. That's normal for us. That's why a lot of people opt for micro brands rather than mainstream, because obviously you can get a better deal. Now when a watch like this comes in around 2,000 Australian dollars, there are offerings in the mainstream world that you can get for that sort of money. And having this in a hand, I don't think you can get anything at this sort of price point with these sort of specs in mainstream. This is pretty unique and really well made. And personally, as an enthusiast looking at this watch, trying to find technical faults, I can't. Apart from that price, I really can't find things that don't work with this watch. It's lovely to look at. Visually, it's just beautiful in the hand. The experience of using the watch, its crown, that beautifully designed strap and clasp, the fact that it comes in at 70 grams on the wrist, grade 5 titanium finishing and that 1200 Vickers hardness coating, this watch has really left me satisfied throughout the week, especially coming from a micro brand. And if there's another area that I say that could offer room for improvement, if they could make a bracelet, something that could match this styling on this particular watch, they'd nail it. I think that would escalate this watch to an even higher level. So Ocean to Orbit, if you're listening, give us a bracelet for this watch, maybe as an option. That is really something I'd like to see produced. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, my take on this brand new watch from Ocean to Orbit, a titanium watch with a lot of finesse, beauty and proper styling. And I think if a brand like this continues designing their watches with this level of detail and thought process, then this brand is going places. So hit me up in the comments, let me know what you think of this particular watch or any of these watches. Which is your favorite colorway? I know for me personally this blue one has resonated. Maybe it's the Greek heritage in me playing into my subconscious, I don't know, I'm not sure, but whatever the case, the watch has been an absolute delight. Thank you for watching.